Hello and welcome to the stream. This is Father Jack. Tonight we're going back to Escape Pacific, and as the title says, we're going to do start to finish run from one cluster to another. Since I did the last run, I've had a lot of people ask us, is it really true that it only takes 15-20 minutes to get out that cluster? I went, yeah. I said, well, it's taking us hours. I was going, man, you must be doing something wrong then. So, currently in the second cluster, we're going to sail east. So the first cluster was south. So we'll sail north to the second cluster. We're going to sail east, hopefully find the third cluster. And then sail south in the second, third. And then back west to get the first cluster again. So that is the plan. So, should fix this. So I've got enough stuff on us. Got water in our barrel. 2 barrels full of water there. I've got enough vitamin C stuff and hopefully enough salted meat and stuff. So I haven't visited all the islands on this cluster, so I really didn't need to be honest. Well, start walking. Let's get this thing started, eh? So hopefully, let's get lined up this island, because that's basically in an easterly direction. Oh, wrong way. How's that island gone? Get the map out. East or that way. Part of it east. So we need to turn that way. Oh. Need this bloody. This compass is hard to read when you're on the raft. So start sailing at 11 o'clock. So we're now going in an easterly direction. Put the backside down. Before we do any of that. Let's sleep till fully rested. And we'll have some food and stuff and then head up. I should have done all this before I started, shouldn't I? Right. So we need some vitamin C. Bananas to go with it. So that's up to 100. We'll take 1 slurp of water. Right. Now you sit it backside down, hit the fast time. So on average it takes between 15 and 20 minutes. It might take a bit longer with this one, but on average about 15, 20, 25 minutes to get out of the cluster. We'll then invoke the fast sail until stopped option. And that puts it doesn't take you to the next cluster. It follows the course you've set, and an easterly course, so just keep travelling east until it hits a new cluster, or gets within reaches realms of a new cluster anyway. So once that happens, then hello Glenn Bixie, how are you? So once that happens, we'll then go back to using the fast time, and hopefully we'll find a new cluster by using the fast time. I'm not going to use the Sextant because I honestly do not see the point of it. Yes, it marks where you are on the map, but apart from that, I just don't see the use of it. There's something I want to test while we're on this as well. So how are you doing, Glenn? Hope things have settled down now. Hope you've got all your cleaning done. I hope you've got that money off the government. So I reckon I'm hoping this is going to be your last island in an easterly direction. And now just carry on sailing east for 15-20 minutes. You're trying to send my blade us twit like, you cheeky shit. Oh dear. Just stop that for a sec. Get the map. Yeah, we're going in easterly direction. I'll do, it's close enough. I've uninstalled that game played last night. It just wasn't for me. It's just the same as any other first person shooter, and so unless they come up with something really different, I'll not be playing that again. Hope you enjoyed it though with Human Gaming. So by what, 7:20 UK time, I should hopefully be out of this cluster, hopefully. They've also announced their roadmap for 2023. You can find it on the Steam page for ETP. The first quarter, if I remember right, they're going to do a lot of optimization. Some of the code's going to be rewritten, I think. It's something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. Other bits, I'm going to do something with the ropes. Why, I don't know. But you can read the roadmap. I haven't read it fully yet. So, I've just released it today. I think it came out today anyway. Oh, excuse moi. So this is the boring bit where I have to chatter for the next 15 minutes or so. We'll talk about absolute shit. To fill out the time, I suppose. was something I was going to ask you, Glenn, but I just totally forgot. No, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, it's still doing 7 days to die tonight, yeah. Wait, that's a bloody marking error that you said that, you little shit. That's like doing the 7 days to die tonight, of course. So my schedule from now on a Wednesday, I will be doing Gold Rush the game. Thursday, probably Escape Pacific. Fridays and Saturday, I'll probably be doing. Yeah, I want to try and find a map today. See if it's a good place for a base. I thought you'd already built a base. I'd say. So Friday and Saturdays are probably going to be flight nights. Sundays is usually going to be Atlas with Glenby Gaming. Monday and Tuesdays, one of them will probably be Ranch Sim, and one will probably be Farming Sim, but I haven't made up my mind. So that's going to be my schedule for the next few months. And this Sunday, I won't be doing Atlas. I'm going to do it Monday instead, because my beloved Newcastle United are in a cup final on Sunday afternoon. Kick off at 4:30 UK time. So I'm either going to be very tipsy. Mark, read the chat. This is what that cheeky sod said about me. Friggin' wants to play 70s to die with some brainless twits today, referring to me, yourself, and Error. A cheeky git. So I won't be streaming on Sunday because Newcastle United are playing in a cup final, kick off 4:30 UK time in the afternoon. So I'm going to either be drunk with happiness or drunk with sorrow. More than likely drunk with sorrow, knowing how I look. But we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. Oh, aye. I could alternate. That was it. Mondays and Tuesdays, I've got 4 games to fit in, and unless I stream twice in a night. I've got my ATS, ETS, and my OMSI to do as well. So it might be a case of recording the OMSI and the ATS and ETS. Keeping the ranch and farming sims streams. I think that might be the idea, because trying to read chat and drive at the same time is not a good idea. Hard bloody work. But I thought the last stream you did, Glenn, you built a base? Or didn't that get built? So there's a town of the trader, yeah. So I don't understand why. Why couldn't we build a base where we're at now, and then if Error makes all push bikes or motorbikes or whatever, then we can go out en masse and do stuff. I just don't see the need to build a base in the middle of the friggin' map. But that's just my opinion. hopefully in about 10 minutes or so, we should be out of this clusters. No, I didn't build. Spent all my time looking for a bike. That was abandoned. Who abandoned the bike? It wasn't me, 'cause I've never had one. I'm not clever enough to ride a bike these days. Oh, come on, just get out of this bloody cluster, will you? Oh, God, my freaking ears are so sod and itchy. Mix. Makes Lee Law. Lol. What? Considering he could have just died and respawned near us. Who was that? I wonder if you still get a notification. When you leave the second cluster, you don't get a little note to say travel this direction and you find another cluster. You basically have to take part. Look, that's why I've sailed east. But does it still come up, the notification, to say that Beer and Bob joined? Yeah, when he died, he turned up at base. Yeah, if Beer plays tonight, I don't mind dropping Glenn. It's he's probably more experienced at the game than what I am. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm quite happy to sit and watch, and I'll go on Twitch and do naughty things to you. Should turn up the loot spawn multiplier. That helps get more eggs and food for everyone. That's setting he made multiple people games. Right. So that's in the Twitch thing with Jig. Give it another 5 minutes or so. You can join us if a shorter player on visit or can visit from time to time. Keep playing. Alright, Glenn. I'll just keep mining. I don't mind. I like me mining, so I can't get killed that way. Oh, it's at the beginning screen, 7 days to die in settings. Alright. Take a look if I remember the startup mark. Right. You can turn that on so it gives them more food and resources and stuff. Go for it. That's what I say. It's there to be used. Use a bloody thing. It helps. Oh, excuse me. So we're now coming into time. I wonder if you still get that. You get 2 eggs in a nest instead of 1, or 4 instead of 2. Alright. Oh, we've changed other things, Glenn. Is that a good thing? Oh dear. Yeah, crack up full volume, Glenn. Let's go nuts. Mr. Bixie, there was a documentary on the telly today, well, at tea time, and it was on about monsoons and telling how they're formed and all this sort of malarkey. And apparently, where Dusky lives in Borneo, because it rains practically in fact, they reckon it rains every day in Borneo, without question. And apparently all this rain washes all the nutrients away from the soil. That's why it's very unfertile. But it was showing you certain animals, and one of them was this tiger butterfly. Wow, what a freaking lethal butterfly that thing is. No animals eat it or attack it because it's that poisonous. And you would think a little butterfly would be poisonous, but apparently it is. No, apparently it rains every day in Borneo. Every single day, whether it's rainy season or not, apparently. So this butterfly, how they do it, like, get it on camera and stuff, but it got stuck in a spider's web. So I was expecting the spider to come along, chew its head off and wrap it up and save it for later. No. What the spider done was, it recognised this tiger butterfly, which is lethal apparently, and cut round it, so it cut out its web, spider web, just to get rid of it. That lethal. Apparently the larva, the butterfly larva, when it's on the leaf of a tree, because the nutrients are that scarce in trees and in the land, the tree produces this poison stuff that goes into the leaves. So if an animal eats the leaf, it dies because of the poison. So what this bloody tiger butterfly larva does, it digs a circle around where it wants to eat. When the tree releases this poison stuff into the leaves, it gets stopped by the barrier. So the butterfly larva just eats within this circle. And once it's finished that part of the circle, it goes to the next leaf and does exactly the same. So eventually, some of the poison does get through to it. But over time, the larva builds up immunity to it. So it doesn't have to build a circle anymore or just eat any friggin' leaf, because it's got that much poison in it that acts as a barrier about any other poison that it intakes. I thought you were clever little shit. So obviously, it hibernates or whatever freaking butterfly always do, and it comes out as this tiger butterfly, and apparently it's lethal. Find poisonous bugs everywhere. Using it's very safe, but we have a few spiders who like to get bit though. That's into the port. You're very strict though, aren't you? New Zealand and Australia are very strict about even food samples and stuff. You're very strict about getting stuff imported. I remember watching some border thing. I'm sure it's in New Zealand, Australia. Two venomous spiders. I've never seen either. We do have an Aussie import. I've seen a few times. All right. No, it's very interesting. This documentary about Borneo. There was this one little creature that had the blood leech. Because there's no mammals or large mammals for the leech to get onto. It has to find other ways to get blood. So apparently it's got a very sensitive nose. It can smell a trail left by a worm. So they found this leech and obviously caught it so they could speed up with time or whatever. And this leech got the scent of a worm, so started going after this worm. And I thought, oh, I didn't realise worms had blood in them, but I thought it would just latch onto the worm and suck all its blood out. But no, it doesn't. I thought, wow, this is unbelievable. Opens its mouth, this leech got a big mouth. Opens its mouth, starts sucking in the worm because it's got powerful muscles in its body. It sucks the whole freaking worm in. It was unbelievable. We have, now seeing, we not know where to find it. And Avondale, Avondale, Brownlow in Avondale, Auckland, under logs or the beach. Logs at the beach. Never get bits out. We don't have any poisonous stuff in the UK. I don't think any. Anyway, I could be wrong on that. But no, this documentary about Borneo was really, really, really good. And had this monkey there with a really funny shaped nose. I forget the name of it. Got beach hold up by the side road. Again, that it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. Right. So we've now been sailing for roughly 25 minutes. So what I'm going to do, come out of that, get the map up. So no, so it doesn't come up with you've left that cluster, because it should tell me. So where's the first cluster gone? So if that's the case, we should be able to start the fast sail now until stopped. Let's see what happens. Keep an eye on my stats in the bottom left. So it's still saying in an easterly direction. Let's show you. Let's take in some water. Right. Everything else looks good. Let's have some bready stuff. This chest. Yes, it was. Right. Oh, wrong way. So let's do some more fast sailing, folks. So I'm hoping that this will stop when it hits the new clusterish. That's my plan. So now coming into sunrise. Very thirsty or very tired. I'm going to get the very thirsty, then we'll stop and have a drink. go. Right. Let me just check, make sure we're going at least the direction roughly which we are. Need some salt. Have some of that. Some water. Let's have a few bananas there. So everything looks all hunky-dory there. Still sailing in the right direction. Until stopped. Yes, I know you're tired. We'll sleep a bit. I didn't press stop there. So there you go, we found a new cluster. All happy days. Wow, right, let's sleep for a bit. We are fully rested. So how did that take? Literally 4 minutes. So until stop does freaking work. Let's have some water. Right, and I was sit on my backside until we find an island, I suppose. I didn't realise it would be that. I was expecting this stream to be freaking hours long. So I have to keep an eye on the horizon. Just going to ignore the seagulls. I think they're red herons sometimes. Yeah, I didn't realise it would take that quick. So I just have to keep an eye on the horizon for freaking islands now. Let me just... Oh, it's hard to bloody do this. Nope, no islands there. Yeah, it was all new cluster grid. That's why it was frozen or freezing. So ignoring the seagulls for now. So just keep an eye on the bloody horizon to see if there's any friggin' islands. This will be cluster number 3 I'm going to get into. I wonder what the record is for clusters. So hopefully by 7:45 we shall see some islands. Hopefully. Wow, it's taking like 45 friggin' minutes from start to finish. What a crappy early stream, eh? But I should really play something else. and hardly used any resources either. I don't believe this. There's something not right. Got to be. Can't be that quick. Started making a game with the assistance of AI to teach me. With my experience of Unreal, total of 4 hours, tells me the devs this are asleep. Damn, yeah, it's great. You ask it questions and then refine those questions. It's great to have a second opinion. What is that AI thing was Unreal? I'd like to see what you produce, Glenn. I can rip it to bits. Because I've been off and on working on a game for the last 10 years. And I'm using that. Not you. Let's play. With the majority of the code for Escape Pacific, it's been handwritten. That's why it's taken its time to get updates and all that sort of stuff. When I use my Unreal Engine, I don't do any coding whatsoever. I use blueprints, which comes with certain boxes, and you basically have to connect the boxes together. But you need to know which boxes to use, etc., etc. So first person shooter, I still use cars. Well, that's not difficult. With Unreal 5, there is a car bit in it. So you can create the cars. You then add to that game the start animation pack, or start a shooter pack, what it's called. Start the template of your choice and the extra camera. Then add car. How do I do that? Start my B. Now, when you load in Unreal up, you then, I'm sure there's an option for cars. So you select that, select it with the starter pack, create the project, and then you add in the rifle shooter starter pack. You add that in, and then you have to configure the rifle starter shooter pack. There's also a military weapons that you can get for it as well, which is free. I've used it quite a lot. And you then have to do some blueprints, so you tell it what speed the bullet comes out and all this sort of stuff. You then create some more blueprints, tell it when the bullet hits part of the car, a person's head or whatever, to inflict damage on that part of the body, or that part of the car, etc, etc. Yeah, it's not a third person game. I'm adding FP in a car, sorry. Also add in the shooter animation pack as well. The rifle animation pack it's called, I think. Remember right. So it took me weeks, possibly probably months. Took me months. Because the way I wanted one of the games I was going to do, basically a first person shooter or a third person shooter, and I'll just quickly check the times. I thought if you do a headshot, that would usually kill a person outright. So I had to create a bit of code for that, or a bit of blueprint for that, then split it further down. So right, if you hit the body, you would do 60% damage. If you hit the left arm, you would do, I don't know, 8% damage. Hit the right arm, 8% damage. Left leg, 10% damage. Right leg, 10% damage. Left and right foot, 2% damage each to that person, to that player. And it took me freaking months to work that out. They have free, they have permanently free every month. And I've got absolutely hundreds in my catalogue. Half of them I don't even use, I wouldn't even know how to use. Get that. Let's stand a bit forward. Let's get the map out. See, this is our back in the world now. Right. So, what I'm going to do, I must sail past that cluster. I'm going to follow these seagulls, see where it takes us. Sit the arse down. Press U. Come on board, turn. So I shouldn't ignore them seagulls. Also, they're doing a weekly one as well. Where'd them frickin' seagulls go? Oh, but lots of freaking seagulls. So what I'll do is, since I'm back in open water, I can do a fast sail again, can't I? So it stopped. So that should take us to that cluster. Yes, no? Or in the direction I'm sailing, should take us to a cluster. Alright, I don't know how to for the weekly again, sorry. But I thought I just had the free monthly thing. See, I got distracted there. Yes, I know you're thirsty. Yes, alright, you're very thirsty. I'll stop you and we'll have a bloody drink. How thirsty are you? Oh well. I'll let you off with that one. You're not thirsty anymore. Let's have one of these. We'll go and eat the salty thing. Take that up to there. And we'll have some bread. So everything's all hunky-dory. Let's go back to the fast travel. What direction am I going in anyway? So it's hard to freaking read this bloody. Put that away. do a queue for the fast sale. We'll stop. See, I was taught away. Wasn't bloody watching, was I? So now coming at sunrise. It's thirsty when you do this bloody until stop malarkey. So hopefully, no, we're not. Thursday, yeah. No. Tell you what. There I am. Sleep until sunset. Get seagulls. It's still world map. We are. Oh, there's the thunder. And there's a red. I'm hanging on to see which way these seagulls are flying. I'll probably not get to freaking see them with the freaking rain. Right, so they're flying that way. If we do a zoomy right, come on board, it's your turn. So since this is sunset, they're flying away, so that means they're flying to a cluster of some description. So, we're still in a world map, good thing. So if we do A until stopped, go and find this pretty cluster. It's actually follow where them freaking seagulls are gone. So it should bump into that cluster. Have some fishies. Drink some naffy water. Couple of slices of bread. That's all hunky-dory. So that's back to the fast sail. Direction was sealed in, isn't it? Right. Okay. Until stopped. See, I wasn't paying attention the last time. So we're now coming at the sunrise. Thunderstorm's still freaking going ahead. Where the hell's this cluster at? It's Thursday, yeah. Fair enough. Need some vitamin C. That'll do. Again. So I'd have been paying attention the bloody first time it happened. I would have been at the bloody island by now. So jibber jobbering. But you get yourself to sleep. The eagles. Trying to see where these seagulls are coming from. What's the game froze for? Oh, so we're in a new cluster. That'll do. Right. So this is going to sunset. So let's follow these friggin' seagulls, eh? Not right this time. So sit your bum down. I'll just follow these friggin' seagulls from now on, eh? Because the sun sets, so they're flying back to a cluster somewhere. So a slight little hiccup, which took like 10 minutes to rectify. But apart from that, all hunky-dory. So this should take 15 minutes or so. So by 8 o'clock, just after 8 I should say, I'm just going to disappear for 5 minutes. I'm just going to make myself a coffee. Loving my coffee machine. It makes coffee just like Costa coffee. Freaking love it. Still flying in the right direction. Sailing, I should say. Oh. So now 5-10 minutes, and I'll scan the Ryzen for Ireland. Let's do it now. Get the map. I'll hook your door in, move a bit forward. Just to see it's a bit calmer. Still no island yet. Sit my bum down. Let's time it. Neat. Yeah. Well, one of the in that roadmap, I'm going to do something with the UIs. I'm hoping to fix this bloody direction thing, so it really pisses me off. So Radu, if you're watching this, you're lurking in the background, fix this freaking direction sign, will you? Attention to details, young man, and get a freaking shave. That's fair, are you? Let's sleep until sunrise. I just want to test something out here. Sleep sunrise, so I've been told the boat doesn't move, or the raft doesn't move. Excuse me. Why are sleeping? I'll show you in a second. There's a sign in the UI when you get the sailing bit up to the bottom right corner of the screen. Some seagulls should be flying towards me now. So if I press U for the sailing, say the word direction, that should be above where it is forward, and remove the friggin' full stop. It's just attention to friggin' detail. I've complained about it often enough. Some seagulls should be flying towards me now, because they fly away from an island at sunrise. I can't see any friggin' islands though. There we are. So there must be friggin' islands along here somewhere. Yeah, the word direction, then that should be above FWD. Remove that friggin' full stop. I'm a stickler for details, Glenn. I really am. It's attention to detail. It's not hard, because when they created that UI, they must have seen it and thought, oh, that shouldn't be like that. And it's so easy to create UIs, and it's just simple little things like that. Yeah, you can take it out completely. Same as where it's got rotation, you can either take that out or change the wording. Because some people probably might even know what rotation is. Let's get back indoors. Get dried off a bit. Right, so we need some salt. We need some vitamin C. Drink some crappy water. And we'll have a bit of bread, eh? We'll do a quick scan of the map. See if we see any friggin' islands. No, can't see any freaking islands. Boom. Sit the house down. Fast time it. Constantly scan the horizon. See fucking islands on the horizon. We're still in the right direction anyway, though. I've been on and off building a game for 10 years, Glenn, if not longer. And as you said on your stream last night, anybody can build a game. It's not easy these days. But it's the hook. That's what you need. You need to build something that's taught. Yes, you can build a first person shooter or a third person shooter. But as you said, it needs to be different to what's already gone before. I've done a bit of website work before. I haven't touched JavaScript because it's just too complicated for me. The HTML and CSS, yes, I've done. But even that, I used to use wizards to do all my stuff. It's because I remember back in the day when I was a wee boy, there was a program language called Hex. It was all basically zeros and ones. And when I was at school, we had to write binary code for Hex, and then we used to take that code and then used to get put into a PC. It then used to be sent to our local town hall, and they would print that onto a white strip of paper with little dots and indents and stuff like ones and zeros, and then you used to run that through onto the mainframe. Very old fashioned. I then went down the drink, drugs and rock and roll route for a good long time. I ended up going back to college. Part of that college work was we had to write in Pascal, that programming language, and the other programming language was COBOL. And that was freaking hard work. That was freaking unbelievable stuff. It was, but then when I was in college, I got taught to one of the IT technicians. So I became very friendly with him. And he was asking what we're doing. I was telling him. And he says, right, he says, you didn't get this from me. So he gave us this Pascal and COBOL code generator. But basically I just had to do the flow diagrams, the JPS flow diagrams for each. Oh, there's Nyland there. Champ Russo. Right. So let's head to that bloody island. Get the map up. Where was it? There we go, folks. Set the arse down. And he gives us a code generator. 7 days with no power. What a 10 years sleep. Oh, I'm going to get wet here, isn't it? But hey ho, times it. So we've been sailing roughly for an hour and 10 minutes. So we'll take off 15 minutes for that pause that I made. So we'll say on average it takes an hour to get from cluster to cluster compared to the 4 hours by using QuickTime all the time. Being bored out your friggin' skull. Oh, see. Have you tried doing C++? It's a friggin' nightmare. I did a bit of database work. I didn't care for much. Was that an SQL? I used to do a bit of that, and that was a friggin' hard thing to do as well. But let's go in the right direction. Yeah, I used to do, especially with websites, creating the SQL backend, the logins and all that sort of stuff. Friggin' nightmare. But hey ho. It was not simple MySQL, wasn't it? Because I used to use SQL on a lot of forums. They tended to use MySQL on a lot of forums. But websites, there's that in front of us, I can see. You should use standard SQL. Wow, use data migrations. I've been out the IT business now for 15 years. So it's changed a lot in them 15 years since I left it. But I never really got involved with the program side of IT. My role, I used to be a very long job title. I used to be a project manager on implementations, which basically means if a company wanted, say, 1,000 desktops and laptops rolled out, I would get sent to that company by my parent company and help them do it. But after a while, I thought, I could earn a shitload of money out of this. So I went contracting, being basically self-employed. And I had that much reputation companies used to ring me up. It says, oh, we'll want to roll out X amount of laptops and desktops to various sites throughout the UK. Can you do it for me? So I replied to the email very politely to say, yes, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and this is how much I want per hour pay wise. 9 times out of 10, I would get the figure I asked for. The biggest rollout I ever did was just over 10,500 PCs and laptops throughout the UK. And that's going right from the Outer Hebrides up in Scotland, Orkney and all them places, to as far south as Guernsey and the Channel Islands. So that took a while. So there's Ireland of a new cluster. That looks like a big bloody island though. Anyway, we're here. We've made it, folks. So even if I include that mishap I made, it's taken an hour and 15 minutes basically, which I might have thought was going to take a lot longer. So this is my third cluster on the bounce, which is a good thing. Why just... I hope this is a cluster I haven't been to before. So that looks very flat, that cluster, doesn't it, the island? And when I'm usually on islands, I usually chop everything frigging down. That island looks like it's had everything frigging chopped down. So if I return back to my second cluster, my second cluster of islands, this just looks very strange for an island. Oh, I know what island this is. It's one of them salt islands. Methinks. No. See that freaking tree's half out on. This does not look right. Why is them? That's reversey. I think this island's bugged. So I think it is. So it looks like the shipwreck is in the middle of the frigging island, doesn't it? Oh, I'm going to have to take a screenshot of this. And Right, so that's that done. Just drag this on freaking dry land. Just drag this on dry land, and I'll take a screenshot of this. Classic. So when a shipwreck's been in friggin' the middle of an island. Wow. It could be washed up like that. Or is this island fucked? Hands up who thinks the island's fucked. I'll have to take a screenshot and send it to them. But let's do a bug report. Jack landed on island first. Island cluster only find ship. Read. Sound. Screen shots. Quiet. Send that off. Oh, I like to bother them, Glenn. Yeah. Gotta bother them. So even the bug report, I'll send these in. Looking around all trades assets are raised 10 meters above ground. That's not unnecessary, Glenn. That shouldn't be happening. So obviously it's fucked. So I need to look at that bit of code. But anyway, we're on the new cluster. What can I include that out? I thought F12 did a screenshot on Steam. I can't share the clicks. But anyway, I'll go to another island through the week and see what happens. Right folks, that's me done. Only took an hour and 15 minutes, which surprised the shit out of me, but there we go. I shall speak to you guys in an hour's time or so. Catch you later.